All right, welcome everybody. We'll call up some Snapchat coming up for you guys very, very soon. We are brought to you by the Benzinga platform, so anything that's moving around, we will have that. Welcome. We do have sector recaps. We got some big earnings. We've got Ford. We've got Chipotle. We're ready to rock and roll. I just got off the phone with the wife. They're en route. Maybe you will see my kids later on during the show. Snapchat up to 1850. Nice little move there, but I'm guessing it's not out. We are checking out for the Benzinga platform, man. Anything that hits right now, we'll get it. Serious Logic is now out with a nice beat. For example, 289. So at CRUS, we could check out that one. Again, another name that some people may own. Nice move up. $84 for Sirius. Taking out right now this little high of $85. It's out, it's serious, and it is fantastic, I guess. We'll wait for more to come through, though. Of course, we have that Budweiser news that just hit, and we will watch for Benzinga. We also do have trade ideas on here right now. We'll refresh it. Let's go. Let's get it going, guys. We'll start to refresh. I don't know why this isn't working, but we'll get that going. Anything that pops in here immediately will show up for a move. So right now, CRUS. We do have Ford on watch. We do have Snapchat on watch. I don't have the thing in my ear, which sometimes I do have, as we've been having that. But wow, what a day it was today. Needless to say, man, we had a big monster move, and we're still kind of on cloud nine, man. I mean, we had a great day with Palantir today. I'll put this in. Still be a 1 minute chart. Maybe I can zoom this back out a little bit. But what a day it was. We actually had this bottom at 1980, sorry, on Palantir. Huge move up and just climbed the rest of the day. Nice little drop off 22 there, but then ending the day pretty strong at 21.75. It's a congratulations kind of a day to Mr. Karp and friends over at Palantir. We always talk about this name on the show, and I actually tweeted out about Palantir here today. We are going to hopefully have Brian Shannon come through at some point here about 4:15. We'll talk about that, but look at these Palantir earnings, man. Beat revenue, beat estimates, beat by the guide, beat the EBITDA, beat the 3 cents gap, beat the gap on GPM estimate by 40 basis points, met annual revenue estimates, beat annual EBIT as well. Palantir, man, the numbers are in the pudding right now. Nice growth numbers. Everything is rocking and rolling for Palantir, and now we think about a possible inclusion into the S&P 500. So yeah, man, really, really excited. Thank you so much for joining us. That's Palantir right now, just 31% up today. Can Snapchat repeat that performance? SNPA, wrong symbol. Snapchat, it's not out yet. We'll wait for that. Who's here joining us? How many people do we have? Let me double check right now. Over 4,000 right now. Thank you so much again for joining. My wife is en route. She will not be in the chat, but you guys are. So a big shout out to everybody that's in the chat right now. We're going to have earnings. What's up to Toilet Brush? Looney, John Womack is here. Enphase. All right, let's go check out Enphase. Everyone's here. Andrew, Elon's all here. What's up, Mr. Musk? All right, ENPH. Is Enphase out? No, not out yet. Look, as soon as it hits on Benzinga, we'll have it for you. It looks like Gilead Sciences is now out. Looks like a potential miss for GILD. Yes, there it is to the downside, $75. Again, I never really understood this name. This is one of the names that came out and said that they were going to try to solve COVID real early. There it is right now, 172, 176. So a miss right there. Boeing, Max door plug that flew off Alaska Air was missing four key bolts. Well, thanks for that. All right, that's actually a good thing. If it was missing bolts, I actually think that's good, because just don't forget about them next time. Nothing wrong with the development of, or the design maybe of that door. We'll check in on Boeing quickly. Amgen looks like it's sleeping right now, not moving around too much there. We just had the report come through on Amgen as well. Yeah, not much going on there. Okay, there's Boeing. Let's just check out Boeing. There's the story right there. 737 MAX. If you come over to the screen, we can check out right there. So a little story there for Boeing. Let's see if it's moving around at all. We still wait for Snapchat. When and if that's out, guys, please yell at me and we'll address that right away. So Boeing right now, not moving around too much. I'm actually going to open up the chat so we can see it right now. MSTR, Enphase, Enphase, Enphase. Okay, everyone's chanting Enphase. Boom to the downside. Yes, sir. There it is, man. Enphase. You guys are all over that one. I don't see it yet, but it looks like Enphase is a miss. Down through $95. Thanks for the water there, Fabian. One day that's going to be vinegar, I'm sure of it. No. All right, nice move down, $94. We'll wait to see what those numbers are, but right now it's looking like end phase. Possible guide to the downside. Look, we talked about rates not going too far, too fast right now. We actually saw the TLT over the last couple of days. We had Frank Caberna on. Quite a nice move, man, from 98 down to 95. But today, TLT, if you come over to the sector recap right now, you'll see the TLT today up 1%. Hello, China, man. Good story out of China today. Possible President Xi is going to come out, talk a little bit about the market, possibly input some stimulus again into that number. Okay, we'll look at Ford in a minute. But FXI, a nice move back up. We've been talking about this for a minute, man, down to $21. All right, we'll check out Ford right now. Nice move. Oh, hell yeah. Ford right now up 10%. Wish I had the numbers. We'll get them in a minute. But right now, Ford blasting up to $13. They like this number. They like this number a lot. I don't have it from Benzinga yet. We need to get that for you. And when it does come out, there's end phase right now. So we do have the end phase number. End phase right now misses. There's Ford. End phase misses. 54s versus 55. Also missed on the revs. But here's Ford. Ford beat 13 cents, 29 cents versus 13. That's a double up on the EPS, so that's nice, as well as a top line beat. Let's see what sales has to come through. I don't see that yet. MSTR. Why are they even reporting earnings? I mean, I thought they're just holding Bitcoin. But right there, sales of 124 million, a miss for MSTR. So a lot is coming out right now. I'm going to put this to the side and let's go over it. Ford, nice move up to 13. We talked about the implied move of only 6%. They doubled it up with 12. That means we carry forward tomorrow. When a number beats by, this is shout out to Miss Danielle Shea. She came to us with Meta. She said, when you beat like that, the chance for a continued move is greater. We saw that today with Palantir. Let's see if we see it with Ford. Let's go Ford. We may cash out of this. I actually like Brendan's idea, or a lot of people's ideas maybe, about buying some Rivian on the dip. Let's see, and that might be over with. Rivian's already through 15. Okay, not moving at all. I thought we might get some movement there. Is there a move in GM happening right now? Yes, there is. So the old becomes new possibly, as GM right now looking to go through 40 on a nice Ford beat. Again, let's check out MSTR. I know we normally do sector recap, but right now, man, we're just going through some earnings plays that are hitting. MSTR right now, okay, move down. We talk about Bitcoin, IBIT. You could see today Bitcoin up 1.7% if you're using the ETF. So nice movement. Again, some bottom picks down there at like 39,000 or so for Bitcoin. So we'll have to watch out to see if that continues to hold. Anybody doing their taxes these days may use H&R Block. That's a nice beat, up to 47 and change as that goes beating. Fortinet, I thought we don't have Chris Brecher on today, but he had talked about one of the greatest calls that we've given live on this show was Pan W at 235. Pan W now is a monster. We'll address that in a minute. But look what happens to Fortinet, up 14%. What is their report saying to us? Here it is right here. Fortinet, again, a nice little move. Let's close this so we can see this a little bit better. That's Sonos. Where's Fortinet? There it is right here. Again, this platform, a little bit frustrating for me. Let's get this over. There it is. Okay, so here's the beat on Fortinet. 51 cents per share, beating the 43%. Estimate revenue, 141 versus 128. So again, a nice beat all around for Fortinet as that continues to go higher. I feel like all the stories that we need, Lumen Technologies, sometimes we trade that, an EPS of 8 cents versus minus. We could have a quick look at LUMN. But to me, I guess the story's with Ford, LUMN right now. Okay, again, a dollar name. I knew that. We were just going over this as some of you are interested. Doesn't look like it's moving. Ford says EVs. I'm actually embarrassed to say this. EVs are here to stay. Bang, great commentary there by Ford. EVs are here to stay. Customer adoption is growing. Gee, you think? I mean, some guy named Elon Musk and Tesla are selling millions of units every year. I'd say they're here to stay as well. Long-term upside is central to Ford Plus. Okay, so remember I was like, it's Ford Blue, it's Ford Green. I guess it's Ford Plus right there. So long-term upside, I sure as hell hope so. Uh-oh, Snapchat. with a snap, they miss. Sales right now, 136 versus 138 for Snapchat. So that's a miss. I don't have the EPS number yet. There it is. So Snapchat misses on that, but beats on the EPS. So let's have a quick look. So they beat on EPS, miss on sales. I don't know if that really matters too much. We already know it should matter for Snapchat because the thing about it is, and we'll look at the stock in a minute, Meta was monstrous on the ad side. So if Snapchat's going to miss on Snapchat and sales are growing at a snail's pace. Maybe that's more appropriate. But there's Snapchat. Uh-oh. It's a good thing we don't have too much of this left. Snapchat getting destroyed right down to the downside. It's $14 right now. Snapchat down 15%. And honestly, I'm just guessing that's what it was there. Miss on sales, a beat on EPS. But honestly, that's a pretty destructive number down there into $14. Could have a bouncing spot there for Snapchat if we do bounce off this 1360 area. Let's pay attention to Snapchat with a nice move down. We'll wait to hear about what's going on with that report, as I'm sure they'll be talking about it. All I'm seeing here on Benzinga was Snapchat right now. Company reported quarterly sales of $1.36 billion, which missed $1.38 billion by only 1%. Wow, isn't that sad? You miss sales by 1%, stock gets hit 15%. Uh-oh, everybody's favorite fast food place. Am I wrong? It's Chipotle right now. EPS 1036. Geez, man, beating 975, sales beats and everything. It is Chipotle Mexican Grill. I believe that's what it stands for, right? CMG. Just a small $500 move to the upside there. So 2,500 went to 25.5 there. Wow, now back down into 25.1. It's Chipotle. Where are we on the weekly here now, man? I guess people are not worried too much about Chipotle. Remember when I forget, maybe it was this move down? I don't know what it was, man. I mean, this stock is absolutely insane. Salmonella coming through. Some of their, I think it was like 1 or 2 spots experienced that. You could see Chipotle Mexican Grill. Nicely done to the upside. Wow, okay, Snapchat coming up with some more numbers right now. Their daily active users, I like that report. Daily active users increased 10%. To me, we should bounce. That's too low for Snapchat down here, but going the other way, 1330 and getting kicked right now is Snapchat. I'm not logged in yet to my platform, but 1330 goes Snapchat. Maybe if you guys bear with me for a minute, we can watch Snapchat live as I will log in. But all right, so that's Snapchat moving around. Let's check in on Ford. I am going to log in as soon as the login screen opens up. I cannot show you guys my login though. SHAWN. Oops, I started talking about it. All right, that's it. Number 1. There we go. We put in there J. All right, just joking around. My password. All right, 1295. It's a nice upside move for Ford. So we had Snapchat downside. We had Ford upside. We had Enphase downside as well. But Enphase, congratulations. Nice little move back upside right now for Enphase, hovering around. This could be a good trade tomorrow. So what's up with this? Oil with a nice move today. We had AMD. So AMD, just go back to the market here quickly. We do have Brian Shannon on today. We could talk about maybe Ford. I'm going to ask him about Snapchat. Maybe there's an area of support that we can find on an anchored VWAP or something for Snapchat, but it's well below right now. Advanced Micro Devices today announced AMD Embedded Plus, a new solution. I don't know if they liked it or not, but AMD today, we'll go over to a 3-minute chart here. Downside for Advanced Micro Devices pretty much all day. We did get a good short off VWAP there if you had it at 168 and change, but unfortunately we don't. It's AMD. Nice downside press today. I still think we get 150, 151 or something for AMD. I mean, that's going to be an interesting level for me. We did also get a nice pushback. This is a weekly chart for NVIDIA. It's just well up, man. Not even too much of a pullback for this name. Let's go over to a daily chart for NVIDIA. They weren't even, they were down 2%. I was going to say they weren't even down today, but they were down 2. Nice move back upside. They were down a lot more. We'll see tomorrow about this 460. This is probably the right name to trade if you're looking for bigger wins, because like honestly, this move when we started cascading down is 680. It made a move all the way down to 663. NVIDIA absolutely smoked there today, down to the downside. But okay, so we had Snapchat, Chipotle, Mexican Grill with a nice beat today. Wow, unbelievable, man. This name closed the day at 2,500. It's up 700. Is that right? Am I right reading this? 25.70. So no, just $70, I guess. To the upside is CMG. Let me see what this looks like on our chart. CMG right now. So up $700, up $70. Chipotle Mexican Grill up a nice little level right there. Bill Ackman's favorite. This thing is gone right now. Nice move to the upside there for CMG. You guys want to talk about it? Shout out to everybody that's right here right now. Enphase missed, but it's a buy. Yeah, look, I don't know what Enphase is doing right now. Here's Enphase live, ENPH. Let's just check out what it looks like here. Push this aside. So 102, 102.50, a nice little 50-cent spread for Enphase. Again, a downside wick to $92, an upside wick to 108. Enphase right now. We don't break down here on the show. I don't break down the earnings report, like siphon through it. Tomorrow's watch list will have details on it. We'll try to break down for you the key points of the release. And it's a nice move there for Enphase. We'll see if Benzinga's talking anything else about it. Fortinet's a monster. FTNT, here you go. FTNT. $75 from a close, up 13%. You could see right there. Fortinet was actually up a lot higher to 77. Nice push up for those guys right now. But where's Enphase? Enphase. Wow, there's Snapchat right there again. Sees Q1 revenue. Yuck. Yeah, down to 1.095 billion. Between, like, nice range, guys. 1.09 to 1.13. Either way, estimates 1.12, so the lower side takes it out right there. Just scrolling for some more Enphase news. I don't see anything other than what we've read, which is right here. Quarterly adjusted earnings shares of 54 cents, which missed the analyst projection by 1 cent there, but decrease of 64% year over year. Looks like quarterly sales of 302 versus 328. So I'm seeing a miss everywhere right now with that stock. But that, of course, is Enphase as we look at Fortinet coming through. The worst today, KRE. I actually think we might have had Brian on last week when KRE really started its downside push, man. Or sorry, KRE. This is NYCB. This is New York Community Bank. Feel like they're probably getting close to liquidation, down there near $4. I mean, we had some worry spots with these guys before with Silicon Valley and First Republic, but now down through $4. Weekly chart, I mean, that's pretty nasty. So completely destructed there. And then if you're gonna look at KRE, I don't know, sometimes when there's smoke, there's fire, but you're getting a nice push back in to $45 right here for KRE and KWeb. All right, if we're ready, we have Trader Talk. It's Brian, let's go. All right, Mr. Shannon, wow, welcome back. I mean, since we've talked to you last, we've had some big earnings reports, man, all last week, including Apple, which seems to be a little weak. We could talk a little bit about Apple, but just quickly, how was your day and how are you?
Day was good, profitable, and I'm doing well, Shawn. So I was kind of surprised. I figured maybe you were, I called you out on Twitter saying it looked like maybe you were going to get involved in some of those NVIDIA plays off the VWAP today.
Yeah, you know what we were looking at? We actually had a great trade, and a good call. AMD also at 168 looked pretty nice. Did you want to talk about NVIDIA? What set up, or whatever you want to talk about? Because hey, man, I miss trades all the time. I made 10 trades today, or 10 symbols today. Lucky enough to go 8 for 10. There's no way Brian Shannon trades 10 different symbols today, does he?
I traded 5.
5, okay. Yeah. That's fine. Double the man, but half the shares. So that's Brian Shannon. Do you want to talk about maybe your best trade today? Do you mind going over maybe what you saw, or maybe not your best, but something that was interesting for the viewers here? We'll screen share whenever you're ready.
Okay, I am ready. Here we can take a look at NVIDIA,
Perfect.
speaking of that. Originally, I had purchased this stock for a swing trade over here on this day. I missed the day that it gapped up, but as it pulled back and got back above the VWAP that day, I bought a position and scaled out of 2/3 of it and have been raising my stops up with these green arrows. Today, I was stopped out of the balance right there with a
Yeah.
gain of $152 and 30 cents on the balance. So that was the biggest closeout for today. I've also got some of the CPRT from yesterday and looking ahead to, well, bought CRISP today.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
And that's got a big short position in it, Shawn. I don't know if you know, it's got 21.5% or 17 million shares, and they've increased that from 13 million shares in October over in here. So they've added 4 million shares. So a good way to look at that is if they added 4 million shares from October, the
Yes.
average price since October is right here at 62, 61 and a half. So with the stock at 67, let's just call it, you've got to assume that those shorts are feeling heat from that 4 million shares they added in that point.
You just made myself and many of our viewers extremely happy because that is an absolute great setup. That's like a flat top break. We absolutely love that. Come over to my screen one more time, Brian. Great call.
Yeah.
Because you know what? If you look here, we had Danielle Shea on the show before, we were talking about this top with a firm. And the reason why I go over to a firm, very similar short float. You're in the 20s, you're in the 30s. When we broke this level right there of 20 bucks, we ripped to 25. That's a 20% move or higher right there on that move. Then we had this 25 level that we were looking at. Then once we broke 25, man, did we boom up there all the way to $50. I can honestly, I got to thank you from everybody here at Trader TV Live and the Market Recap Show. This, Brian, is why traders stay late. I really like that. And their report comes February 20th. This is now on my radar. I love that break of 67 if we can get it through 70. And then that break, even greater than that, man. CRISPR Therapeutics. You've been on this for a while, as far as I remember. You seem to always talk to us about some of these therapeutics and IBB type of stocks. So great look right there. But that Affirm trade gives me confidence that maybe we could see the same thing here with CRISPR.
I like it. And if you look at my screen, I want to show
Sure.
you where a firm just pulled back to, Shawn, because it's pretty amazing. That gap that occurred that you're talking about right here, look at the anchor from that point and how we touched it here, here, and then bam, 4 days ago. That was the low. That's why we keep an eye on those levels of interest. Over here, I wasn't interested in buying it. I'm not trying to make that point. But it's interesting to see that that's exactly where the buyers showed up here again for this stock. And today in NVIDIA, the low occurred where? Well, if we take a look at the month to date volume weighted average price, which I always talk about, look at that.
That's a great, I mean, honestly, I was about to promote your book after, but Anchored VWAP, you know what? Actually, my memory's not the greatest. I've read this book. It's absolutely fantastic. I know you've been using VWAP and Anchored VWAP for a while. Is that something that you proprietarily developed? You were looking and you were thinking, hey, what about if we put the VWAP here or there or here or there? When did you come up with that? Was that something that, obviously took you a pretty long time? Because every time you come on here, you give us so many amazing plays off the Anchored VWAP. Just maybe a quick little description of where you developed that from and where that all came from, because it's a really genius idea.
I didn't develop that. It was Paul Levine, Dr. Paul Levine.
Okay.
I had only been made aware of his work a couple of years ago when I was researching the book, but my introduction to it came kind of by accident on
All
a
right.
platform called Realtic. Realtic I used, 20 plus years ago, and they had a trend tool that was, a drawing tool, and you would draw it. Let's say you'd start it here and draw it straight across.
Right.
Well, what
Okay.
would happen, Shawn, is that arrow would go up and that line rather would
Let
go
me
up
flip
and
over.
down. And it was calculating the volume weighted average price as a line.
Right.
So I looked at that and said, okay, if I start they allowed 1 day VWAP or, from one starting point. So I noticed if I put it to a 30-minute chart and started the chart 5 days ago, I had a 5 day VWAP. So I started experimenting around like at that. And then it was in 2015 that I convinced the good people at TC2000, whose software is right here, to put it on their software, the Anchored View app by Alpha Trends. You can see this little arrow here on the right-hand control panel.
All right. I mean, I'm just responding now to your post about NVIDIA. Look, thank you so much for that. Sometimes we fall into our lap, and sometimes you just develop it like that, and that's an absolutely great call right there. I mean, here's the tweet from Brian tagging me, and I'm my bad about that one, but look at that. Perfect, boom. Nice move there. And I love that you took a paltry $152 on that as well. I want to talk a little bit about this because right now the Qs, you had a little bit of a talk here. Qs is at a level of interest. The IWM remains a dog. I agree with that, man. A lot of people looking at some of these smaller cap names, right? Maybe that's it. And then you and I, and a lot of people have talked about SMH and how exactly important that is to this market. We've been really going upside here with NVIDIA, AMD. I mean, we always talk about the same names, but why not go over to ETF land? What are you seeing here? You said overall we're pretty bullish, but near term, I kind of agree with you. I was short the SPY today. It was a great trade. It started to blast up at the end of the day, but I'm starting to favor shorts, Brian, just temporarily. Are we right with that? Let's digest some of these charts.
I think that for me personally, the shorts are a little bit early. We're still above the rising 5-day moving average on the SPY, on the Qs, and in the SMH. I had pointed out on this SMH chart today that a lot of people are looking at this and saying, "Hey, the semis are making a double top." A double top. You see, this is just a level where we've been previously. A double top isn't complete, according to a textbook example, until it breaks below this level right here. And then we take the height of that, which is just to call it 196 down to 185. So we'll call that 11 points. If it comes down here and breaks that, well, then your downside target would be 11 points lower. I personally am not really too interested in that time frame. If instead we took a look at, here's where we are in the intermediate term. We're right smack in the middle of that range. We're at the anchored volume weighted average price from the Fed. That's that purple line. We're above the rising 5-day moving average. We're just kind of digesting a little bit. It's way too early to call it a double top. If we start to break down further and we get trapped below a 5-day moving average, I'll change my mind. But for right now, we're just digesting gains through time so far.
So we've talked about, for you, Brian, how important that 5-day moving average is. You've gone over that a couple times, and I've actually put it on my chart now, so thanks for that. We really like that. All right, one more before I let you go. We haven't discussed this, so I'm going to catch you off guard a little bit. Tesla. I mean, I know you don't like the name. I've seen your tweets. It's not the greatest. It's been one of the weakest. There's talk about booting it out, or if the Mag 7 is Kramer's, it's already out. It's not performing like the rest of them. People are trying to catch this falling knife. Why? Because it's an AI play. People like Elon Musk. He's made people a lot of money. But you get some you get Cathie Wood, you get some of these people just calling for the moon in this stock. Let's bring this back down to life a little bit here. If you come over to my charts, we had earnings right here. We slipped up from that. We lost the $200 level. We lost the 50. We lost the 200 a long time ago. And honestly, if people are thinking that it's going to hold this 160, hey, maybe it does. That's still a decent move down. But if we don't, then I just wonder about all the longs are trapped down here into a name that hasn't been loved. What can you say to me about Tesla here and trying to buy some of these dips? Is it not time yet?
Shawn, first off, I want to talk about Cathie Wood. I saw the best article yesterday. It called her the worst destroyer of wealth. And
I saw that. I think I like that
good
post.
To finally see some truth. That lady has gotten a pass. She is destroyed, and this is from Morningstar. She's destroyed in the ARK fund, $7 billion. Don't accept it unless you're.
I did not. I'd put it out. I did not. $8
billion has evaporated just in her one ARK fund.
Wow.
$13 billion in her family of funds. Her track record's pathetic. So it really bothers me when people hold her up on this pedestal.
But Brian, remember, man,
Cathie says it's this and that.
She still gets to collect all those management fees,
Exactly.
I
And
know,
you know
it's
what?
bad.
It's criminal, honestly. It seems criminal to me. If she just had a little bit of risk management and used an anchored VWAP or a couple moving averages,
Yep.
her results would be a lot better.
It's
Anyways, I digress there,
okay.
Sean.
Yeah,
I
let's go.
apologize.
Let's go. Yeah, yeah. So
Um,
what about Tesla here? Is there anything that you're seeing? You're going to talk about the 5-day moving average.
Tesla is right at its declining 5-day moving average. And, you know, we had a pretty good gap low last week, week and a half ago. And that gap low, what we often see is, you know, those initial buyers come in, they feel confident, and then they set their stop underneath that low. And inevitably, we come down and undercut that low. And that undercut right now came on lighter volume, number one. So you have that divergence. We had a strong source of supply here, not quite as strong. I think that it's in as good a position as it's been in for a potential long.
Okay.
Tomorrow we get rid of this data for the 5-day moving average calculation, so it should continue down. Maybe it does something like this tomorrow and then gets going on Thursday. Absolute worst case stop would be under here.
Yeah.
If it makes a higher low in this zone, I would put it there, but just for a bounce because we're below declining 20-day moving average, 50-day moving average, 200-day moving average. Money's flowing out of the stock. It's only a bounce trade if you get involved.
The Brian, the chat loves you more now than they did before. So there it is, your hot take there on Cathie Wood. Look, great talk there on Tesla as well. But yeah, ARK, maybe the only one to invest in is ARK B, which would be the Bitcoin. Therefore, it just follows Bitcoin.
You know what? I considered that, and that was on my list. I'm bullish on Bitcoin here, but I think, and you were talking about IBIT earlier.
Yes, yeah, that's the one I like.
And if you pull up my screen real quick, I figured why give Cathie the management fees?
Yep.
She's already got enough. These things are all identical, so forget about that one. Go with IBIT.
Yeah, me too.
You can see that 5-day moving average is flattening out, and this green line is the anchored VWAP since inception. We're starting to hold above that for the first time since it came out, meaning buyers are regaining control.
Yep.
And I would say keep a very close eye on this for a break above probably 2480. Worst case stop down under here. Looks like it's going to probably get going here in the near term.
So I had your friend and a friend of the show as well, Michael Noss, on Monday, and he was talking about Bitcoin maybe in a little bit of a channel moving forward. So we'll see if that does happen. But I agree with you. I choose to trade with IBIT as well. It does a lot of volume. It's an iShare product, so it's all good. It's
Cathie doesn't get paid.
It's maximum trading gains with an anchored VWAP. Go find this man. Everyone's loving you on the chat. It's at Alpha Trend. It's Brian Shannon. Thank you once again for taking the time with us here today. You're one of the best, and I definitely appreciate your time on a weekly basis. Thank you so much, Brian.
Thank you, Sean. Take care, everybody.
The best in the business. That's Brian Shannon. Thank you, my friend. I really like that bumper with the trader talk there. I like the music, and I like that I can just hit it like that and everything. But again, what a great one right there. And I want to thank everybody in the chat. Oh, Brian, if you're still there, people wanted to know if it was a SMA or EMA when you are using your 5-day. Just write in your hands, S or E. I can see in front of your face. S. Okay, so simple. Thank you, Brian. I see him still here in Zoom. So he uses SMA on that, okay? So thank you so much, and I apologize. Sometimes I don't even have the chat open. I just have it on the other screen. So Brian is awesome. I mean, people love you in the chat, so thank you so much for that, and that is amazing. So thank you so much once again to Brian and all the help. Hey, guys, let's just do this real quick. Whoever's there, let's do a quick little roll call. Look, the sticky note today was hot fire. I don't need to review that. We've had Alibaba's been awesome. I cannot wait for Alibaba earnings. We had the Tesla long on there. We had a bunch of different things. Go find it at Sticky Note Nation. Stand up and be proud. The reason why I developed Sticky Note was because you gotta follow your own rules and your own levels. Hey, hell, we had Uber long at 69 on that thing. We had Palantir long. The Sticky Note, completely fire. What's up, Matt? Yo, Matt, that was a good joke, man. That was a good joke. And it was, hey, you have to go find out tomorrow. Maybe send me another one and we'll do it tomorrow. We've now invested in Bouillon, if you know what I'm saying, right here. Boom, says Brian. What's up to Andrew? What's up to Mike Pena? Oscar Plays is here. Marielle is here. Saul G is here. Hey, if you better call someone, you better call Saul. What's up to Saul right now? Nikki Cutlets is here. I prefer veal cutlets. Some prefer chicken. What's up, Sebastian? What's up to NYNY? How do we still have this much energy? I have no idea. I'm getting ready to go to the Air Canada Centre, aka Scotiabank Arena, and we're going to be watching my daughter play on the same damn ice as your Toronto Maple Leafs. That should be a hell of a lot of fun, followed by some good events. It's just a practice on the ice with some Maple Leaf coaches. My family ain't here yet, but they're on their way, I guess. Maybe they're locked outside. We don't got security around here. Anyways, all right, I will see everybody tomorrow. Thank you so much for rocking. It's a Palantir kind of day, baby, and we're happy that you're here with us. It's Trader TV Live. This is the Market Recap Show. If you don't like it, then who will? Make sure you like and subscribe. Thank you so much. This is also a later podcast, so if you missed this now, go find it on all of them platforms. I'm Shawn Catena. Thank you so much for watching. It's at Trader TV Shawn everywhere you can find it. Ciao.